and then Sitterding. So start off with Jay Reitzman, who's had a very solid, consistent year for the Cougars, the senior, transferring in our first year from Coastal Carolina, really having a career year. And certainly some excitement up ahead when in just a few days Reitzman will be facing off against her old team. But for now, big series here. So Jay hitting .310 this year, leading the team with 31 hits and 24 runs scored. And already we have a meeting. Violet Marta fired a strike. And she's met by her catcher Peters. And then Mia Garza from third base. Let's take a look and see if anything happened on this pitch and why there was a meeting. I couldn't see anything. Maybe they saw something. You know, we don't really know. So 0-1 to Jay Reitzman. He'll take it high up the middle, but in there for strike two. So 0-2 count. And did she go? Yes, she did. Strike three, and what a start for Violet Marta. Marta this season comes in with a 7.11 ERA, and that leads Drexel this year, as his team has struggled pitching, but a good start for Marta, who now has 30 strikeouts on the year to 15 walks. Pretty good control. Her main problem has just been being hit, as this one is hit and goes just off of the glove of Cal Ugay, and Carly Smith has a first pitch base hit in the first. Right on cue, as I was saying that Marta's pitches were accurate but hittable. This one nearly caught by the shortstop, but it gets behind Caluday, and a nice hit for Carly Smith, who's getting the start today in the two-hole. And looks like a good decision right now for Coach Tracy Lynch. Now it's Osti Miller who is up, the junior from Bradford, Ohio. And what a season she's having, hitting .319 now. And she has just had a torrid month of March, as this ball is hit to deep right. That is caught on the run. What a catch by Reading. Smith will have to hurry back to first. Kyla Reading makes a nice catch on the run that probably saves a run. It looked like that ball was going to bounce fair.
25, Sierra Paradis.
Osti Miller. And we don't see that a ton. Not a lot of lefty pull hitters on this team. So we don't often see right field tested like that, but certainly Reading makes the catch. Now Sierra Paradis, who's also having a breakout season, the junior from Canton, Georgia, hitting .286 this year and leading the Cougars with 16 RBI. Biggest one might have been last weekend on Sunday with the Cougars down to their final out at Stony Brook. Paradis hit a double that drove in the tying run, although the Cougars lost it right after. But I don't want that to go forgotten, because unfortunately that's what happens sometimes, that clutch hits in a game can get forgotten. But Paradis has had some great clutch hits this year. 16 RBIs, 8 doubles. That by far leads the team. Also on Friday, hit a home run in the first inning against Stony Brook. That was the game the Cougars won 2-1. 3-0 count, and she'll take. That was a walk. That shouldn't matter. That throw to second, and it'll be first and second with 2 out now. And a chance is here for Kennedy Rue.
Now batting number
Kennedy
10,
Rue, another
Kennedy
player
Rue.
who's having a breakout season. Senior hitting .277. Had a 3-for-4 game just a couple days ago, the second game against Presbyterian. 3-for-4, one of them was the hit that started that fourth inning rally. Cougars were down 4-1 in that game, and Rue's hit sparked the rally for the comeback. Now we'll try to break a scoreless tie here. 1-0. This ball is hit, but directly to Caluguay, and she makes the catch at that time. Season first pitch swinging. Langston hits it well, but is backhanded by Munich. So the Cougars so far have hit some balls well, but Drexel's field has really come to play today. As Munich robs Leila Langston of a hit. Let's see if Caitlin Stacy now will jump on the first pitch. Stacy, the sophomore from Woodstock, Georgia. And she does, but fouls it off. Stacy hitting .266 this season. And has driven in 10 runs. Cougars got 2 base runners in the first, but stranded them both. Oh, nice off-speed pitch right there. Getting the swing and a miss, so Violet Marta, who, despite the high ERA and the losing record, definitely has some good stuff. She's been hit around at times this year, but as this ball is flied, and pretty easy and right for Reading. So, it just shows today maybe we're expecting some runs between two offenses that had played well recently.
Now batting number 28, Carly
So far,
Hughes.
neither side has really burst out, as Carly Hughes, junior from St. Leonard, Maryland, hitting .250 this season with 7 driven in. A .315 on-base percentage. And takes the first pitch 1-0. Carly Hughes had an all-time series to open the conference play against Hampton, where she went 8 for 9. And it's been a bit of an up and down season, but when she's been on, she has been able to carry this lineup at times. And that's what the Cougars had throughout this lineup. In the bottom of their order, they have players that are capable on any given day of having a big offensive day. As Hughes lifts it, but that one will be caught by Caluguay, preventing it from dropping in center field. Who had the big game in the second game. Julia Sitterding lays down a bunt, but fielded very well by Mia Garza, who was way up from third to get it in front of the plate. Exactly what Drexel wants. Same thing they got last inning. One pitch, one out. Cougars managed just one hit and 2 base runners their first time through the order. Now Jay Reitzman, who struck out her first time, going for the second chance, is really nice from Mia Garza. Reitzman fouls it off. Cougars this midweek did not use Mackenzie Mathis or Riley Cutter pitching at all. Went with their other pitchers, Campbell Shane, Lily Thorpe, and Izzy Alley. Much deeper Cougar pitching rotation this year, as that one will float to the netting in left field. But once again, Jay Reitzman is 0-2 down in the count. Cougars got to try to keep hitting these balls hard and hope that some more of them can get through the fielders. As a rare miss of the strike zone by Marta. 1-2 count as there is the hard hit up the middle. One hopped from the circle in between the two middle infielders. And Jay Reitzman has the Cougars' second hit of the game. They got a one-out base runner here in the third. Probably was going to be a hit either way, but you had Mia Garza coming up because you have to be prepared for the bunt from Reitzman as well. And so Caluguay had a lot of ground to cover between second and third, but again, that was hit hard enough, probably would have been a hit regardless. Now Carly Smith, and there goes Reitzman, and she will make it, throws not in time, and then gets away from Caluguay. Jay Reitzman is now 17 for 17 this year in stolen bases. Great jump, perfectly timed. Now Carly Smith, who's had 35 at-bats this year. Actually, 36 now with the one in this game. She's 10 for 36 with a .278 batting average, 4 RBIs. Cougars with the back-to-back lefties here early in the lineup. Something that they haven't had a whole ton of. There's a 3-0 count. Remember back one pitch in the game, Marta, they had a meeting after one pitch, so you wonder if they saw something, and so far it's been working for Drexel. But that ball misses low and away, and it's a 4-pitch walk for Carly Smith. A plate appearance that was in the Cougars' favor the whole way, starting with the stolen base. And now Austin Miller, who nearly had a RBI double or perhaps a triple. Miller this year with 2 doubles and 3 triples, 11 total RBIs. Leads the team with a .315 batting average. Takes the first pitch for strike one. And Austin Miller, who was batting .148 at the start of the month, has completely just flipped her season and at times has been impossible to get out. Seems like she gets multiple hits every other game. Had another good day Wednesday in the doubleheader. Trying to get her first hit of this series. Lays down a bunt. She got some pretty good speed on the bases right now, Reitzman. 17 for 17. Stealing third is a possibility, with Garza having to be careful with how she plays it. As Miller chases the low and away for strike 3. Second strikeout of the game for Violet Marta, and it comes at a big time. Austin Miller, that's only the 8th time this year she has struck out. And now it'll be Sierra Paradis, who walked her first time up. Can the RBI leader for the Cougars deliver again? Paradis has had such a breakout season this year. She and Miller are the only players who've started every game. She was mainly the DP last year as that one sneaks in the strike zone. But this year started every game at first base, played pretty well defensively for most of the year. As this one is popped up high, in play. A few fielders coming in on it. Little bump, but Peters makes the catch against Stony Brook team, who feels like they've handed the Cougars a lot of tough losses the last few years. Can Kennedy Rue once again be the rally starter? This game 0 for 1 with a line out to short. Oh, and 1 count against Violet Marta. Marta's a freshman, so first time she's ever pitched against the Cougars. As a little late gets it foul. So you got an 0-2 count now for Kennedy Rue. Cougars have only drawn 1 walk in this game. They've gotten 2 hits. Excuse me, 2 walks and 2 hits. They've left 4 on base, haven't scored. As that one is popped up high, another pop-up induced. And another catch by Kelsey Peters. Violet Marta is on her way to having maybe a career game here.
Batting next, number 21, Leela Langston.
I bring up Leela Langston, who we didn't really get to talk about. And she only saw 1 pitch the last time. Hit it pretty well to the right side, but it was scooped up by Munich. This time Langston will watch the first pitch, but that's in there for a strike. Well, Leela Langston has been hitting over 400 in conference games. She, much like Ostie Miller, another player has really exploded here in the month of March. As this one is hit well. Running back in center, that's over the head of Alamillo. And rounding second now has to hurry back. Leela Langston has a 1-out double. And will that get the Cougars going? Their first extra base hit of the game. Leela Langston, her 3rd double of the season, as she continues to be great at the plate here in these conference games. Now it's Caitlin Stacy. Cougars have had a runner in scoring position 3 out of the 4 innings in this game. Stacy's driven in 10 runs this year. Has 1 extra base hit, which is a triple. In many ways, it's more of a triples park than a homer park. Langston almost had the triple there. Made the right decision at the last moment and now goes over to third, taking advantage. And now the throw is high, and Langston will score the first run of the game for the Cougars. Well, we touched on that with the way that Drexel was fielding, even with the runner on second. We talked about Jay Wrightsman taking advantage, maybe to steal third, but we didn't know that Langston, who had only 2 stolen bases all year, would do it. But great call by the head coach, Tracy Lynch, at third base. And then the base running of Langston gets home, and that's how the Cougars strike first. A tough luck run given up for Violet Marta, who so far has made the pitches with runners in scoring position, but could only watch as that ball sailed into left field. As Stacy into center field again is going to chase Alamillo, but she'll get this one. That's 2 out in the inning.
Batting next, number 28,
Maybe just
Carly
a
Hughes.
little more on it. Would have been enough to get over. As Carly Hughes, 0 for 1, flied out to right field, first time up. And she'll swing at the first pitch and pop it foul to the right side. It took a while. It was unconventional, but the Cougars finally scratching out a lead in this one. We've seen this year that they've been able to, at times, win games, doing just enough, even when their bats haven't been red hot as a team. 1-1 count is Violet Marta. By the way, that was ruled a defensive error for Drexel on the catcher, Kelsey Peters. Two and one count to Carly Hughes. Two out, nobody on. Drexel trying to get out of this inning, as this one is lined, will drift foul. As the sun has now kind of come back fully through the clouds. Mia Garza does always seem to play a couple steps in. And we've seen it work at times, as with the bunt attempt. She was all over that. Well, good plate appearance by Hughes as she's worked this to a full count. Not a lot of walks today for either side. On 3-2, Hughes will hit this one high and short to center. Who's got it? And it's going to be the shortstop, Caluye, for the final out. But the Cougars score. All will lead off, as it'll be the 9-1-2 hitters for Charleston. Cougars have managed only 3 hits, but they made the last one count. Leela Langston with a double, and then scoring on a stolen base in addition to an error. As a swing and a miss. I should check, that was foul tipped. Sitterding 0 for 1, attempted to bunt her way on to lead off the third. That's when Garza made the nice play. And this time chases, kind of a running swing. Both pitchers so far have thrown pretty identical, with each of them striking out 2 and walking 2. The one difference is just the 3 hits that Charleston has scratched out, as Sitterding hits this one high the other way, fighting the sun, but making the catch is Smink. I believe that was the first fly ball into left field all game, hit by the College of Charleston. So the first time we really had to see Smink battle that sun, which disappeared for a bit, but now is back. But she makes the play. Jay Reitzman struck out her first time up, then bounced back with a single up the middle her second time. Hitting .314 on the season. It's been very consistent throughout it. Reitzman's also made some big-time plays in center field this year. Only the routine ones so far today, but it's been important. Now the count's 0-2. It's a Charleston team that came into this game hitting over 300 in conference games this year. For a while early in the year, they started 5-14 out of conference. Their average was in the low 200s, but that's gone up. And they've also shown, even in some of the games where they haven't been hitting very well, to find ways. Can they do it here? Trying to get some insurance here in the 5th, foul back again. Again, last year, Charleston only won 4 games the entire year in conference play. So they've already surpassed that with more than half of the conference season still to go. As that one is smashed to left field and just foul. That was a rope by Reitzman. Get a good view at it here, and yeah, it was about a foot foul left of the line. One-two again, good take. Fielder is playing it pretty normal depth, but get the corner step in a little bit. That one's foul again. It'll get out of play. Violet Marta, who has given up 1 run in this game. Now, what's interesting about the run that Marta gave up is that it is considered earned because of the stolen base, and then the next hitter, Caitlin Stacy, hitting the deep fly ball to center. You try to piece together the inning the way it would have gone without the error. So even though the run scored on an error, it still is an earned run from Violet Marta this game. Which you can say is flawed, because if there was 1 out and a runner on third, who knows what Caitlin Stacy would have done in the same spot. But that's how they do it. 2-2 again taken. This turning into a long battle of an at-bat. It's a Drexel team that this year their main weakness has been pitching. They came in with opponents hitting over 400 against them. Held Charleston to 3 hits. And it's now 3rd time around through the order. Jay Reitzman. Once again, the full count pitch. And this is a fair ball, but it's going to be a routine fly to shallow center. Caught by Alamillo for out number 2. So now Carly Smith.
Now batting number 26, Carly Smith.
Carly Smith, a sophomore from Scottsdale, Arizona, has one of the 3 Charleston hits today. She's a transfer from New Mexico. A lot of transfers from lots of different places, different conferences for the Cougars this year. Carly Smith has been out of the lineup a couple times this year. The first few weeks of March, she was out, but now is back in and has been a solid hitter at the plate this season, hitting .278. Good slap hitter from the left side of the plate, which Cougars have a few of. But the count's 0-2 for Carly. And one hop back to the pitcher, throws a little low, but in first, plenty of time. And they'll be back home against Towson, and a midweek on the road, but local at Charleston Southern. 1 pitch, 1 out for Austin Miller, whose bat has been quieted today. Violet Marta has really had a terrific day in the circle, only giving up 3 hits, quieting some of the Cougars' hotter hitters.
Sierra Paradis.
Sierra Paradis is 0 for 1. This is still just the 3rd time around the order for the Cougars. Sierra's 0 for 1 with a walk, pitch high, and gets away. 1-0. That one's hit well, but it'll drift just foul. Cougars have had 2 singles and a double in this game. So 1-1 count for Paradis. She's the only Cougar this year with more than 1 home run. And the only one with a homer in a conference game. That one is hit high, gets out of the reach. With 1 more double, Sierra Paradis would be tied for the lead in the CAA over the course of the full season. There's 3 players who have 9 and 4 players, Sierra being one of them, who have 8 doubles this year. She has been an extra base hit machine. And that one is hit, but will fade and go to short. And Violet Marta continuing to have her best game of the season, getting some really nice, favorable contact. Early in the game, Cougars were hitting it pretty hard, and Drexel's field was making plays, but Marta's actually gotten better as this game has gone on. She's now retired 7 straight as Kennedy Rue will bat with 2 outs, none on. Mackenzie Mathis has been brilliant, but she may have just the smallest margin when she goes back out in the 7th. If the Cougars can't rally with 2 outs now. That ball is just high and off the plate. Marta checks down with her dugout. Hasn't walked anybody since the 3rd. Rue tries to go after the 2-0 pitch, but doesn't quite get it and fouls it to 3rd, or to the left side. Again, this has been such a breakout season for Kennedy Rue, who only had a few at-bats, didn't have a hit last season for Charleston. But now she's become the primary DP, coming into the game hitting .277, the career day earlier in the week. That one's hit well, but directly to second base, caught by Mooney. As the Cougars can't get anything more. Violet Marta has really been shutting them out, but they got one. Will it be enough? Heading into the